The Cardinals head to the Pacific Northwest to face the Seattle Mariners, who have been scuffling a bit over the last few weeks, but still have been one of the better offensive teams in baseball in a really big turn of events from 2024 to 2025.
Yeah, they went out at the trade deadline and they tried to drastically improve that offense and make a run for it in the in the postseason, or go for it in October. And it's one of those teams that you see from the outside often, and you know they have fun players on the team. It looks like a really fun atmosphere up there at T-Mobile. And you don't get to see him that often. You get to see him once a year, which is a lot better than what he used to be. But I'll take once a year. And if you're willing to stay up tonight and tomorrow and Wednesday, it's one of those matchups that you do kind of wait a lot of the season to finally get around to and face, and get to possibly see the potential American League MVP play this week too.
And it's a fan base that is very, very starved for a deep playoff run. They've flirted with it the last few seasons, just haven't quite been able to get out of their own way. Now in 2025, they have all the pieces. They have great pitching. They've defended well. They obviously have one of the most prolific hitters in today's era of baseball, definitely one of the most prolific offensive catchers in the history of the game, in Cal Raleigh. So keeping him in check will be a tough task for Miles Mikolas and the Cardinals beginning tonight. But this is an important road trip for St. Louis, who find themselves 4.5 games out of the final wild card spot. I know you're shaking your head.
Stephen, I want to. I can't do it. It's right now it's like that ex that you've tried to make it work like 3 times already, and you want to go back to it, and you got to tell yourself at some point you have to have it. You have to do it for yourself. Like you have to have that self motivation. You have to tell yourself, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to fall. I get it. I get that you are going to. You're about to talk it up. You're about to tell me why I should believe. I can't do it to myself, Stefan. I can't.
Well, I'm going to make my pitch anyway. Take a look at who the other 3 major contenders are playing over the next few days. All right. The Cardinals, they're in Seattle. They're on the road. The other 3 major players that are trying to fill out that final third wild card spot, the Arizona Diamondbacks are in San Francisco. The New York Mets are in Philadelphia. Okay. And the Cincinnati Reds are at San Diego. So there are very, very tough roads ahead for all of these different teams. And if the Cardinals play their cards right, who knows where they could be at the end of this road trip. Now, I read an article earlier about how inspired this team is playing with Ollie Marmol, and who has been given very little since the All-Star break. In fact, it's been a young team that has given cups of coffee and tested things out. To be 500 in the position that he is in is a win in and of itself, but they're playing a lot looser and a better brand of baseball than we've seen over the past few weeks.
Oh, absolutely. And still, I mean, to be 500 at this point, and I will say it again, and I will keep preaching this well into all the month of September, and however long it takes for us to get a definitive answer from Chaim Bloom and the Cardinals front office moving forward. Ollie Marmol is your manager in 2026 and beyond, and deserves, honestly, I mean, even at 500 and possibly not making the playoffs, he still deserves a contract extension. To be 500 with this team, with the ups and downs that we've seen out of this offense, with the starting rotation that was handed to him, a starting rotation of Miles Mikolas and Eric Fetty for almost the entire season, and the unwillingness of a front office to call up Michael McGreevy as the year has gone on, or as from day one, honestly, from the season, for Ollie Marmol. And then you go and look at the trade deadline, you trade away your entire bullpen, your 7th, 8th, and 9th inning guys, and to still fight and to still be 500 and still have a puncher's chance at making the playoffs this year. Ollie Marmol has done an absolutely incredible job with this team this season, and should rightfully be rewarded for it.
I agree with your point completely. And again, that's probably not what many fans expected to hear or wanted to hear at the beginning of the season, because blame is placed in a variety of different areas. This year, I don't think you can blame the manager by any means at all. So certainly happy for Ollie, and hopefully they continue to win regardless of if they make the postseason or not. You want to see them finishing strong, finishing above 500 and making improvements on last year. Remember, the Cardinals went 83-79 last season. If they can go, 84-78, that's a small win. You are getting better. The pieces are being put together. And if you continue to stack wins, you can see the progression of an organization from a year-to-year basis.
84 would still upset me because some people in this room might have taken 87 at the start of the year on DraftKings. And 84 would just be too close for me for me and really upset me going into the playoffs. But yeah, 80. I mean, anything above 500 with this team this year, I think it right now is considered a win for the way that they kind of were built and the way they kind of were put together.
Yeah, this is a team that certainly is built to play small ball. They're not going to hit the home run ball, but we've seen some inspired victories over the last 2 days, right? Yesterday, a 4-3 win. 2 nights ago, Jordan Walker with a 2 RBI walk-off single in the 9th inning. That's what you love to see if you're a St. Louis fan. And there's a little bit more buy-in from the fans now. 29,000 on Sunday. That's a bit of a surprise when you look at what the attendance numbers were over the last few weeks. To see them buy back in, I think all they need is a little bit more inspiration. They need to see these young guys play, and they're excited to see these young guys play.
Yeah, Saturday, attendance numbers shouldn't have surprised you with everything that was going on that day with the with the Hall of Fame, with the 85 team, all of that. But to see that on Sunday again against the Giants are a good baseball team, but still it's not a team that you would expect to draw huge numbers. They don't have that player on the team that's going to really bring in more fans than normal. Saturday for sure. I mean, Saturday, you're facing Verlander. You have all these other things to celebrate. So that is a good sign moving forward. I don't know how much more you get this year out of some of these the opponents left on the schedule.
That's a very, very good point, Joe. A quick reminder that this show is powered by Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. This is the Card Central 365 show on STL Sports Central. Joe, Roderick, Stefan Caray here talking all about the Seattle Mariners and the Cardinals. Let's break down the pitching matchup for game number 1 tonight. It's Bryan Woo for the Mariners, who's been one of the best pitchers in the American League this season. 12-7, 3.02 ERA, 169 strikeouts, one number off my dad's favorite number, and Miles Mikolas, who's 7-10 with a 4.89 ERA. Bryan Woo has sneakily become the ace of that rotation, which features a lot of young, valuable, and somewhat experienced arms to this point.